when you have the president of NerdWallet Mortgage Experts and the CEO of AIM at the same conference as you slow down for the fastest 20 minutes in mortgage just so you can catch up on what's happening in mortgage and real estate and talk about the future of lending. This is an episode with a special guest that you won't want to miss, and we're going to grip it, rip it, and be done in 20 minutes or less. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus. You are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and a very special guest. We are in Nashville, Tennessee, day 2 of Fuse, powered by AIM. He is a second-time guest on TLOP. He's one of the newest and favorite friends I've made in this industry over the past year. He is the president of NerdWallet Mortgage Experts and the CEO of AIM. He's the one, the only, Jonathon Haddad. Jonathon, welcome back to TLOP.
You're a legend, man. You always just go. It's just crazy how fast you figure it out and you just dive right into the conversation.
You know, I wish I felt like I was just going to go, but this is day 2. We are in one of my favorite cities, Nashville, Tennessee, and I was telling you before JC turned the cameras on, I'm a little hoarse today because me and my bright ideas decided I should start my work meetings at 12:30 yesterday afternoon, but not here at the convention center. No. I went down to Broadway, one of my favorite places to go, and after 12 hours of meetings down on Broadway, maybe sipping some IPAs, maybe sipping some whiskey, but it's loud in there. They're playing live music, and I conducted business meetings basically screaming into people's ears or faces. So the audience will have to bear with me, and y'all, this will be one of the fastest TLOP episodes ever. We are calling it the fastest 20 minutes in mortgage because Jonathon is a very important person. This is his event, and he is due on stage in less than 20 minutes. So let's jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
Right, so here we are. It's October of 2025 when you and I are recording this. So all of us mortgage lenders are closing out the year that was. We're getting ready for the year that's going to be. And you are a leader in multiple facets, right? You're running your mortgage company.
Yes, sir.
But you're also running one of the largest organizations for mortgage brokers.
Yes, sir.
Which, by the way, if you're a mortgage broker and you have not become a member of AIM, what is stopping you? Literally, look at how minimal the investment is and look at the impact it makes. Make sure you go to their website and you become a member. But that's my shameless plug for the day. But Jonathon, what are you telling your teams right now as you close out this year, 2025, and you get excited for next year?
Look, some of you are going to be mad at this answer, and if this pisses you off, then I'm not talking to you, and I want you to know that's okay. We can live with that. These are for the ones that are ready to be killers. These are the ones that are done with filler conversations and are ready to take it to the next level. If you do not figure out how to maintain your past book of business, you're done. Stop saying it doesn't make sense for the client without calling the client. Stop pretending that you're better than AI. Stop pretending that you know systems better than somebody else. Stay in your lane, help clients, close loans, help with refinances, but don't lose that market. The largest retail company in the country has a 97% client net retention rate. It is on all of their documents when they disclose them to their investors. Right? They're publicly traded entity. 97% client net retention. Are you that good? The answer is no. So what are you doing to be that good? What kind of touch points do you set up? You cannot lose the refi market next year. If you're 90% purchase business and then coming into next year, you don't take care of your past clients and you still remain 90% purchase and don't call a single one of those past client refinances, you are going to be in a bad spot for zero reason. So stay focused, figure out an idea for your past clients, and get ready for next year. Don't check out. Build the plan right now.
Wow, you are fired up. Is that the same type of message that you kick off some of your 6 a.m. meetings with?
Yes, sir. All the time. But I go deeper. It's more granular about my experience at retail, what we did, how we did it, how we started the day, how you make the first call. A lot of people, it's initially fear about making the call. What do I say to the client? I haven't talked to them in 8 months. Well, you closed their home. So there's got to be something you can bring up. Hey, do you like the house? I don't care. John, I'm not good at it. Great. We all suck when we start. But are you at least trying? If you're not, there are systems out there and a bunch of 21-year-olds, I was one of them, that are coming into the industry from these retail companies that, guess what? They're going to do whatever they're told. because that's what I did, and I became an assassin because of it. So that's what you're dealing with, and are you ready for that kind of competition?
So it sounds like in the fastest 20 minutes in mortgage, which is what you and I are doing right now,
Yes, sir.
You're fired up about loan originators and mortgage company operators who are being lackadaisical at not working their database.
100%.
Like, and you're seeing it all throughout the country.
It's not even seeing it, it's the data behind it. You know, everybody thinks it's retail versus wholesale. I don't believe in that. There's a lot I learned from retail that was really good. Part of what I learned that was really good is my past clients. I don't lose them. My clients call me back. They always stay in front of me. It's very rare I lose an opportunity or lose a loan. And so for me, the reason that's such a big focus is you have to understand that this is how retail is going to play. And with all the money that they have, it's not a bad thing. Competition's beautiful. But with all the money that they have, they can invest more in AI. They can invest more in tech. They can invest more in past clients. So what are you doing to combat that? Don't sit there and tell me I'm doing nothing because I do such a good job. All my clients come back to me. The data indicates that as a mortgage broker, after you do the first loan with the consumer for a purchase, over 90% of the consumers say, oh, I love this person, I'd use them again. But then the data indicates that 12 months later, that same client forgot who you were. They only go back to the same broker 10% of the time. Why?
Because the broker is not making it their priority.
Correct.
And by the way, it is the easiest phone call to make. And you know what's crazy? Me as an originator, I had two biggest missed opportunities, right? It's funny. Regardless of anyone's success, you talk to anyone who has had a high level of success, they probably will talk to you about all their missed opportunities.
Yes.
At least that's where I find myself. I can point out my missed opportunities and talk about them way easier than I can talk about the awards trip or the trophies or the paychecks and everything else that came with achieving at a high level. And one of mine, I could have been a better originator if I would have dominated owning that relationship. And my other one was if I would have dominated lead follow-up. Like, I didn't. I was basically, if I got you on the phone and you're ready to go, I helped you.
Yeah.
If you wanted to call me later, great. But I wasn't proactive enough to actually stay in front of you until you literally either buy, die, or get a restraining order against me, which is what I coach now, because I look back on my missed opportunity. I'm like, that's like the most free thing I can do as an originator is relentlessly pursue all leads until they buy, die, or get a restraining order. But the other thing is, what am I doing to stay in front of my past client database? And I want to take it one step further, if I want to get your take on it. I believe we as originators don't treat our circle of influence like they're already clients, and we should. We should already, if you're doing client appreciation events, invite your circle of influence. If you're doing annual mortgage reviews, which everyone should be, but so assuming you are you then offering them to your friends, your family, your ex-coworkers, and your neighbors? If you're not, why not? Because if not, here's what happens. And I think this is what you're getting at with retail. And retail, by the way, is banks. Retail are the servicers.
Yep.
And retail is companies like Rocket, right?
Yeah,
Like, you know, it could be Rocket, it could be lower mortgage. I mean, New American Funding has a big retail arm. So that's what, when you say retail, you're thinking like consumer direct.
Yep.
Where people are going after your friends, your family, your borrower that you closed on 3 years ago. And what we need to be doing is making sure that those people know that we're still around and that we still care about them, because if we don't, then AI is doing it for us. Is that your passion pouring into us, Jonathan?
It is. I mean, part of it is the passion, but you said something that I completely agree with. You stop diminishing your value as a loan officer. So what you just said, I love it. And this doesn't matter where you're at. A lot of new loan officers do this. They get that first objection about rate and cost, and then right away they lower the rate and their cost, right? I'll cut my comp, I'll do this, I'll do that. You are diminishing your value. Like if I go to a world-renowned doctor, so let me give you an idea. I have this very, it's not serious in terms of like harmful to my health, but it's just frustrating. And it has to do with my acid reflux. So I've been waiting for years to find this doctor. I've been interviewing. So I found this specialist. All he does is this specific surgery that has to do with what I deal with. That's all he does. He's made millions of dollars doing it. He's one doctor in the United States. Took me forever to find him. When I call him, you know what I don't get to do? Negotiate the price with him.
Never.
I'm trying to fix a real issue for me. So I don't get to go to him and say, well, that's your price. I know it's out of network, but I don't want to pay that. I'm going to pay this. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm not for you. He's not going to diminish his value. So find a way to have those conversations without diminishing who you are, without diminishing what you do. Your clients will remember you more as well. When I have serious conversations with somebody about their amortization schedule and how they can pay extra leveraging an adjustable rate mortgage by paying the same as they would on a 30-year note, and how deep it is and why I would do the adjustable and how I personally have an adjustable on my house, which is true. You know they're going to remember me because you know what other loan officers aren't doing? They're saying, I'll just cut my comp and let me match it for you.
Yeah, I think as a mortgage loan originator, mortgage broker, we actually have a massive responsibility that has been bestowed on us.
Yes.
And that is to be an advisor. I mean, we talk about it, but very few are actually out there practicing it. What you just explained is what an advisor does, right? An advisor says, let me walk you through an ARM. Let me show you how you can actually gain equity way quicker, pay down your loan much faster just by making the same payment. Now, all of a sudden, the relationship you're building is that of a trusted advisor. So if you get a marching order for those that are tuning in, it's like we have a responsibility to be advisors because most of our borrowers will never have a financial advisor. They won't be able to afford one because a financial advisor won't talk to someone unless they have $100,000 in investable assets. And y'all, look at your 1003s, look at your IRLAs. How many of your borrowers have $100,000 in investable assets? My guess would be 3% or less. I'm not talking IRA, or I'm not talking life insurance. I'm not talking 401k, right? I'm talking like money in the market. And they don't. Therefore, you, the loan officer, you, the mortgage broker, you are the advisor. And what do advisors do? They build real relationships. And a real advisor, because I know this, by the way, Jonathan, because you know what my financial advisor does for me? He takes me to lunch once a quarter. Why? Because he wants to review my plan. He wants to talk about the market. What does he really want to do? Not lose my business.
Yes.
What does he really want to do? If I have more money, he wants to get it, right? But he's an advisor. Well, if we're advisors, then you should be following Jonathan's advice, and you should be doing everything in your power to stay top of mind with your past client database, including your circle of influence. Let's talk about tactics. What are some of the tactics that you're currently coaching over at NerdWallet, or when you do big calls for all the members of AIM? What are some tactics that you're trying to bestow on the mortgage broker community?
So it all depends on where you're at in your career. If it's a new loan officer, the first thing is just teaching them how to rip the Band-Aid off with simple scripts. So I don't want it to get complicated. So what I'll teach them to start, if you're new, I'd say, honestly, probably 2 years or less for somebody like this. But think about it this way. If you close their last home, what I teach them to do is, hey, why did they buy this home? What about it did they love? And that's how I start my call. But John, I haven't talked to them in 9 months. No problem. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, it's Jonathan. I actually helped close your loan. It looks like October of last year. And shame on me, I have not done a good enough job staying in front of you. Hopefully you remember me. Is that the case? Super simple. Breaks the ice, gets rid of that first initial objection of, well, I haven't talked to them before. Client's going to say one of two things there. Most of the time they say, yes, I remember you because you just helped them close their home. They don't want to look dumb. The client doesn't want to feel like, oh no, I forgot the person who helped me close my biggest transaction. So I leverage that and say it's just psychology. People are going to feel bad about it. So just ask them the question. And it's so simple. And every time you got to see the look on their face when they do it. Their face lights up. It's a huge smile. And I go, there it is. That's teaching confidence. And now, if you've been in the industry, call it 2 to 5 years, I take it to the next level. All right, and what the next level is we'll leverage systems. We have My Home IQ is a partner of AIM, obviously. And so what they do is they have an equity report. So every month the client gets, here's how much equity you have, here's what you could do. But I tell my more sophisticated loan officers, leverage that as your touch point. Hey, once a month you're going to get this, but once a quarter you and I are going to have a conversation about what you're getting so I can explain it to you at a higher level because you don't do this every single day. Is it fair for you and I to schedule an appointment a quarter from now in your calendar while you get these updates over the next 2 months? No client has ever told me no, and then from there, take it one step further. Make sure when you schedule the appointment to talk to them once a quarter, you do it while you're on the phone with them and you make them accept the calendar invite while you're on the phone so you can see it live.
That's a pro move right there.
Very big.
Pro move.
Big deal.
Yes.
And that way you know they accepted it. They don't get to say, oh, I missed it. You told me you accepted it. I watched you accept it. Now I can have that difficult conversation. And then for my third tier, which is like my highest echelon, right? These are dialed in loan officers. I really dive deep into the amortization of their client and how can they pay this home off faster. Usually your sophisticated client will do anything small to pay their debt off, anything small to give them an advantage. anything at all. And so we go into the conversation teaching them that. Like if there's an adjustable rate mortgage opportunity for you, hey, I just want you to see here's what this could look like, because if you believe rates are going to go up above this won't make sense for you. If you believe rates are going to go down to this will make sense for you because of how fast you pay. But I make them get granular into the data and the numbers, because clients like that have $100,000 in the bank, they put 20+% down, they have investment properties, they have all of this, they're more sophisticated when it comes to their finances, and they will listen to you, not be as fearful as somebody that's never done an adjustable rate or anything like that.
And by the way, when you make these calls and you get the people on the phone, make sure you hit them with my favorite 4 words.
I'm ready.
Who do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you know? Hey, Jonathan, thank you so much. Sounds like everything is awesome in your world, and the mortgage I did for you 9 months ago is still the best mortgage. By the way, I do this for your friends and your family, not just you, because I am truly your lender for life, whatever your script is. But then you hit them with, who do you know? Hey, who do you know that would also appreciate this type of conversation, this type of service, better yet, this type of peace of mind? Like, you are giving people peace of mind, right? Maybe a refinance doesn't make sense, but wouldn't they like to know that it doesn't make sense? How good would they sleep if they knew, hey, yep, I went ahead and I checked and I made sure the coffee pot was turned off. Yep, I mean, how many times has your wife or my wife made me turn the car around in the neighborhood because she thought she left her curling iron on? Her curling iron.
Multiple times.
Right, so if that's how the human brain is already wired, it doesn't just happen to curling irons and other cookware, right? People are probably laying in bed saying, I wonder if my 401k is in check. I wonder if I had the right mortgage. I wonder if, but they don't reach out. But as an advisor, we can reach out and kind of instigate that conversation so that we do twofolds. We're good humans, right? We're good humans first, but then second, we are looking for opportunities to serve again, because when we serve, we get paid. I mean, it's that simple.
I always forget, like, it's not that I forget, but when you start talking sales, it's like, I'm like, damn, he's so on top of it, because it is the little extra stuff, and it's not about being like better or anything. It's just about really taking this seriously and diving into everything about sales. And that includes the stuff that you're talking about right now. Like for me, we'll take it even a step further with what you're talking about. Like I know on that first call, it's not like they're about to just jump and do a loan, even if it makes sense for them. What I'm trying to do is strum up enough of an emotion, enough of a conversation, enough of a logical reasoning for them to where when they go to bed at night, and you're right before you go to bed, you're talking to your spouse, your significant other, you bring it up to them. Because that's who I'm trying to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk to the first person on the phone. I'm trying to talk to who you're going to talk to. So how can I equip you to talk to that person without me confusing you, so you can explain it properly to them when they ask the objections? And they say, oh, babe, it's not worth it. Oh, really not right now. We don't have time. Well, based on what he said this should be done in 10 days or less. It looks like we have an appraisal waiver. He said that means we don't need an appraisal. I make it so simple, and then I'll recap with an email for them to read to their spouse, their significant other, whoever that person might be.
Yeah, I think if you know where to pull the Cliff Notes version, the AI recap of this episode, it's like a massive call to action to wrap your arms around and embrace your circle of influence as well as your past clients. If you don't, someone else will. But by doing so, you're being a good human. And if you're a good human, you will be able to serve more people, which means you'll be able to close more transactions, which means you'll be able to make more money, which means you'll be able to save more money, which means you'll be able to tithe more money, which means you'll be able to literally leave a legacy, all by doing what? The most simplistic thing of reaching out to someone and letting them know that you're still around and you still care, and asking them, hey, how can I serve you today? Right? Like that is what Jonathan wanted to get across in these 20 minutes that we had. You mentioned my ability to sell. Yes, I love sales. I mean, I am in sales. I've been in sales for my whole entire career. But I love sales so much that in my coaching company over at T-Lobs Originator Coaching, we literally have now started adding one call a month that is all neuro-linguistic programming. Because we don't do a good enough job in mortgage of teaching men and women how to actually sell. We do an okay job of teaching them how to market, but actually like how to use the right word, how to ask the right question, how to put that powerful pause into your cadence, or even understanding that sales is a performance, So
the neuro-linguistic stuff is
yes.
like another, like I want in on that conversation because I've gone so deep on that path. I know we don't have time right now, but if we can get more time, hopefully throughout this event, I would love to knock that out.
And look, our boy Rene Rodriguez is speaking tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, if you missed Fuse Mark it on your calendar. Like, don't miss this event. I don't care if you're a broker or a banker.
Nope.
Right? I'm not a mortgage broker. Guess what? I'm here.
Yep.
And it's a badass event. And it's a lot of fun. But Renee's speaking tomorrow. Renee was one of the first people that introduced me to NLP. Right? So then you go from Renee, then you get like some Phil Joneses. You have Jamie Miller.
Yes.
So I've had Jamie come on and do some coaching for us. There's this lady out of Atlanta. Her name is Laura Whitty. Laura's a $150 million originator who's also NLP certified, right? So I just had her on doing a coaching. Loan officers, do yourself a favor. Consistently become a student of sales, as well as continue to listen to Jonathan's advice and serve your past clients and serve your circle of influence. I wish we had more time, but we
Thank
don't.
you, brother.
So we're going to have to bounce. Y'all, he is Jonathon Haddad. Jonathan, if people want to find you, where do they find you?
You can find me online, Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere like that. I'm incredibly active over there. Or you can reach out via email, Jonathon, Jonathon, at aimgroup.com. That's AIME, AIME, group.com.
And I am Dustin Owen. The easiest way to connect with me is on LinkedIn. First name Dustin, last name Owen. We are at the Loan Officer Podcast on Instagram, and we are T-Lop Entertainment on YouTube. Jonathan, thank you so much for all of your time. People, thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode.
Take care.